Good afternoon. We're here with Gabriella Wisdom, and she's going to tell us about this first book that she read. Gabriella, why don't you tell us the title, the author, what year it was published, and whether it was the medal winner or an honor?
It is When You Reach Me by Rebecca Stead, and it is a medal award. So
And
that's the primary one.
What year was this book written?
2009.
Great. So one question that we will often ask as we go through the year is how you would rate this book. If you were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being terrible, not worth reading, 5 being awesome, great, add it to my list of favorites, where would this book fall for you?
Probably like around a 3.7 or a 4.
Why would you place it there for you personally?
I liked it. It was not my favorite style of writing, but it was good.
Great. Well, for those who have not read this book, what genre would you say this book is?
Sort of somewhere between fantasy and sci-fi.
Okay.
But not very much of either. It's just a little bit like that.
So give us just, without spoilers, a little bit of a summary of When You Reach Me.
So this girl, I forget her name. Give me a minute. Miranda. She and her best friend Saul have broken up. I guess they're not really friends anymore. And it's been that way for a while. And she is receiving these mysterious notes by a person who seems to know more than they should. Like private stuff, like where they keep the key to their house, and other things that like they keep private. And these notes keep coming, and at the same time, her mother is also preparing to be on this game show called the $20,000 Pyramid. So and then she's also at school, she's making a new friend, but walking home, there's also this bully, and she has a lot going on, and it's sort of the story of her as she tries to piece things together.
Okay. Well, which character, so you told us about a few characters already in your summary. Which character in the book could you most relate to and why?
Without giving any spoilers?
Yes.
That's a tough one. Maybe Marcus, because I don't know. Maybe more her friend Annabelle, because she's like her friend and they get along well. And like Annabelle is helpful, and they get into a fight, but they also make up, and yeah.
So are you suggesting that you're helpful and you're kind and you like to make up with your friends when you get into arguments?
Well, I like to make up with them. I guess I can be helpful sometimes. What would you say?
I'd say you can be helpful, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, as you think about this book, Gabriella, who do you think a good audience for this book would be? Like maybe what age or what type of
Age
person?
would be like 10 to 12. The kind of person who likes it would be like if you like realistic fiction with a hint of like science fiction or fantasy thrown in.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Does this book remind you of any other books that you would recommend to someone who would maybe read this book?
There is one. I don't remember the name. It's about this girl who the wind reacts to her emotions, and she's been placed in foster care. It's something about sky or
Oh, yes, I read that one. That was a really good one.
red sky.
Maybe clearly, audience, we need to keep better track of the titles of the books we read. Yeah, I can see how that book was mostly realistic fiction with a hint of fantasy thrown in. Yeah, very similar. Did you feel like this book was predictable, or were there some surprising elements?
I did not feel like it was predictable at all. Which is not something that happens very often.
Okay.
There were surprising elements.
And is there any maybe last thing you would like to share about this book for our audience?
I think so. I think we covered most of it.
Do you know what your next read is going to be?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your thoughts on When You Reach Me.